I bet you can't watch the entire video. I bet you cannot watch until the very, very end of this video. You want to try and prove me wrong? Watch the whole thing. Hello everybody, Sasseleigh Biggons here, big crafter as always. We have some great content, yarn reviews, whatever, coming to you today. If you find any value in this content, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. There will be an announcement of who won the giveaway, what the next giveaway is, and mostly just new yarns at prices I was willing to live with based on their supply, demand, and how certain ones they don't make anymore. Especially last Christmas, how the producers really didn't make that much Christmas yarn because they're still, I guess, trying to get rid of last year's before that yarn, and there was only one color mix I was willing to throw down for. Only one. And so, we shall start. First on the list, I want a Macari, which is one of those, it's a Japanese company, but they specialize in helping you sell within your country. So the shipping is so much easier that way. There was a lady over in Plano, about an hour from where I live. Normally it's all across country. There's another lady on Etsy that has these, but this is that Christmas yarn. It's sparkle, it's acrylic, but it has like the piney greens with regular apple greens. This is basically all apple colors, but it is Christmas Universe in lace weight. I know they made a thicker weight, but I didn't care. I wanted the mix. I can only find lace weight, but once you see what I've been doing with it, it won't matter. Does not matter when you know what you're doing or you're good at what you do. But yeah, love this. There's 2 cakes. After all shipping and fees, 2 balls were $20. Normally, you know how cheap I am, and heck, I'll still recycle a sweater in a heartbeat. But these, my great-grandfather was an apple farmer. He taught me how to pick apples. He lived long enough to where I definitely remember him. Can't say the same for my sisters, but this is why my mother and my aunts are all obsessed with apple. Like, all growing up, we had, like, apple-styled plates, wall hangings, just apple, everything. Or just in little, like, my aunt always had a brass apple on her desk. It was a paperweight, but it's a family thing. And with an eye hook, as in the size eye hook, it is moss stitch, which is when you do a stitch, you chain one, you do a stitch, you chain one. But I used half double crochet to chain one. And this is the fabric that I got from it, as you've probably seen in one of those little short videos I made. I mean, it's quite holy, but when you turn it over, it's pure acrylic. It will keep you warm as far as Texas cold goes. Crochet hooks. A size I is a 5.5 millimeter. And just so if anyone has, we always talk about gauge, right? This is lace weight, very, very thin. I mean, see the thickness ratio here? That's why this became so soft. And half double crochet is always stretchy anyway. Then you add an extra chain to it, and this would actually make a really good headband type of fabric. So, and to be slightly ventilated, and I suggest 100% cotton if you do that. But yeah, 2 balls, $20. I mean, I already made this much, and I still have this much left. I love lace weight sometimes. It really can give you the yardage when you least expect it, because I was truly believing I'd need every single bit of both balls. But we'll see. We will see. Like I said, Hobbii still does have their Christmas Universe colors left, but not that one. They're getting rid of the ones that didn't sell as good, basically. I'm sure it's like 50% off or whatever, and they're still over in Europe, because I always say the wrong country. But it's a good quality acrylic. If you fall in love with one of their other colors, great. But they said they're apple colors. I had to. Genetics wouldn't let me otherwise. On the same day, because I have the word search saved permanently, so whenever Christmas yarn comes up in Macari, it always notifies me, so I don't really have to try too hard. I've never used 100% silk yarn before. Silk was one of those bucket list things. Found 2 skeins. They were dyed like in sections, like it was all red, all white, all green. I did cake them up, and it is sparkly, and it is silk. Again, lace weight. And since I already tried the other one, I got a good idea what I should do for the next project. But this one was darn good yarn. Like I said, I bought it from someone who was just cleaning out their stash. This is hand washed. Normally these cost $17 a piece. I got them for like $28 with all the fees combined for both of them. Yeah, it's a little bit of a discount than if I bought it new, even though it's not that far off from being new. Who cares? It's silk. It's Christmas colors. It sparkles. It's the best of the best. It's not like it's acrylic. They're suggesting a 2 or 3 millimeter knit gauge for crochet or knitting. I'm putting my money on crochet. That's what I'll probably do with it. But yeah, 2 balls, alternating red, white, green, a sparkle. Cannot wait to work on those as well. But that I will not be posted for sale or whichever until actual Christmas. Because it does have... feels a lot like linen. It really does. But like a stiffer linen, and any other silk I've ever felt was like the worst part of linen rigid. This one isn't. So darn good yarn put some ease to it. It's not quite as hard, not less cardboard like. I got a lot of new little batches in. I got a new batch of crochet hooks I need to post. For anyone who doesn't know or doesn't read the description below and all that gobbledygook, in order to help save the planet, whatever, craft supplies and whatnot, you know how on eBay you always see all those people selling huge batches of hooks and needles and just random craft stuff, and usually they're all crafts that have nothing to do with each other? None whatsoever. So if I can get the individual price low enough, because they go and see Joanne and say, oh yeah, it's $8 a hook. If I can get $5 a hook and a lot of 50, that'll be great. So they'll put like this astronomically high price on it. I'm like, no, I'll give you 50 cents a piece and nothing higher. Or something really low. And usually they turn me down, but if I can get low enough, I resell them on eBay just to keep them in circulation. I sell them one at a time. Yes, if you buy more, I make it discounted because I always put free shipping on it. And the discount is to give, like, when you do combined shipping, it makes it cheaper. So if you buy more, the shipping's cheaper. And eBay sucks at helping you calculate combined shipping that's reasonable or accurate. So that's what the discount is truly helping with. I mean, I think I make like 50 cents or less on any of these things, but it truly is about keeping good craft supplies out of, landfills, and just, these are like some of the older ones I think were better designed, to be honest. Like Susan Bates, the old stuff was better designed. Boy might have been better designed in the past until China took over in the last 10 years, where the hooks that used to be pointier and easier to use are now more rounded and more blunt, and they really don't help you do the craft better because they're made by people who just would make a quick buck over a skill or a craft they know nothing about. I mean, you almost see it a little bit in there, to where it's almost gotten less pointy, while the older ones are really pointy. It matters when you're crocheting, when you're trying to put the hook underneath the stitch. Just like knitting needles, the more expensive ones usually give you a choice of how pointy you want it. And just all these little different things. And I think the old stuff might have been made better. And it should be made for sale in a more accessible way. So down somewhere in the description, there's a link that goes directly to, I believe they're all individual, whether you want straight needles, circular needles, crochet hooks, whichever. They're itemized, so you don't have to like wander through the whole store trying to find stuff. It's the least I could do. But yeah, I'm still debating whether or not the ones with the good handles will be going in there. But you just never know what people want. I mean, last week I sold 4 crochet hooks to a lady in Puerto Rico. She wanted, they were all, it's like 3 double zeros and 1 size 0 crochet hook. If you know anything about crochet hooks, a size 0 is about that big. And it confused me why she got 3 of the same size. She must have an eagle eye. Because when I went through them, they were all the older, made in the United States ones. 2 had the old-fashioned boy-style heads on them, and 2 actually had the Susan Bates-style heads on them. So she must make a lot of jewelry and stuff, or beading, and she got like just the 2 different heads on them. They're metal, and it was like, okay, she really must be a really good artist because she knows what the feel is. The feel is different. So it's just, like I said, it does matter to those who actually participate in it. So, yeah. And now for the rest of the Hobbii order. These, I know they're new, fresh out. I'm not used to being ahead of the curve. I'm really not. I mean, I saw an advertisement for the Silly Sock Yarn by Hobbii on Instagram today. Like, they'd never announced it before. And I just happened to have 2 of them. These really will go for socks. It's the only wool that I will tolerate probably this year. Because I really need bed socks very, very badly. Because for some reason, when I sleep, my feet get cold. And if my feet get cold, that fight or flight survival thing kicks off in my head, and then I cannot physically sleep. So, or I told my husband I can make him a hat out of it. He's like, don't bother. It's like, love you too, babes. He doesn't like wool. But if you mix them together, don't they look like earth colors? Like water, ocean, sand, continental, or landmass colors? Just saying. They're very, very good. What did I pay for these? Do they say? Mostly I went shopping. They don't say. But they're actually reasonably priced for the size they are and that they're wool. I did it because the one that I remember the most. Yes, I got more of these little ones. They were $1.40, which is 30 cents per item cheaper than the average sales where I live. Because this exact same kind, for the exact same 100% cotton, has never been lower than $1.70. The exact same weight, the exact same everything. This is Cotton Kings, solid red. And I got the variety so that I do want to make more tank tops and stuff, so that when I do them in striped, these are the non-acid wash looking colors, because I know I've gotten whole batches of acid wash sitting in one of these bags, but you'll see what I mean. You should always try to stock up this way as far as color variation goes, because in one item you get that nice gradualness to it. But yeah, I got a whole bucket load of that. Because I know not everyone likes cotton, but I'd say 11 and a half months out of the year we like cotton in Texas. And I was thinking about doing a tutorial on a lesser known, it's kind of like a sock pattern. It's not like, there's no heel. It was the original vanilla sock. Because if you hear the term around vanilla sock, it just means a sock that was made with all stockinette. I mean, yeah, it'll have colors or whatever, but there's no cabling, there's no patterns. It's just straight stockinette. There's this older one that was like 1920s where basically you knit a tube where you close the end off, but then it has like this diagonal swirl of raised lines that go around it, so it just kind of suctions cups onto your foot. I know I have it. It's in a book that I saved because in my younger days, I had this habit of photocopying all my favorite patterns. And it's been sitting in there ever since because I know I've always wanted to make one. I just didn't get around to it because once you get your spiral going, it's the same as anything else. You just keep going in circles. And it's just, I don't know how long they'll last because they don't have a heel. But if you just need socks to go to bed, just so you can sleep, totally perfect. Absolutely perfect. Let's see what else. Okay, next week's giveaway, because I'm still tossing this room, as I call it. Tossing it means removing items, organizing, cleaning, maybe getting a second table in here just for production value. And doing some other voiceover type stuff where being next to the window isn't so good for certain production values. So I'm literally tossing the room and everything's going everywhere and posting the 5 million hangers that I'll probably be selling on Facebook. And taking out the trash and going food shopping because we are told on Wednesday night we're going to be having ice storms. So I gotta prepare for all that downtime because Thursday supposedly we'll have 2 or 3 inches of ice. I may still go food shopping, but we're loaded. We didn't eat anything too fast, and other than milk, this is not my first snowstorm. It's not my first ice storm. We could probably feed an army and still be fine, but hubby's always worried. Next week's giveaway will be stitch markers and the ring that holds it. So if you want to learn continental, it really does help you feed. Or if you're doing crochet, it's just a cheater's way to feed the yarn in and have it be loose. So, and yes, these came with the yarn that I got. I just don't need them because I'm drowning in stitch markers. Let's be honest here. And of course, this little tool. They're both very fun things that are necessary for sanity. Or the ring's just cool. Stitch markers, they're the big ones. So if you have like, I'd say up to at least a size 10.5, it'll still work. So if you're new to knitting or crochet, it's big enough to cover everything. And now to pick the winner. Okay, just to go over how the general giveaway goes. You comment on the videos where I say comment and you can win something. This would be one of them. Next week, like I said, stitch markers and that yarn holder thing. From last week, as I said, the Caron baby inspirations and a appropriate sized hook for starting any project. It's really soft, like you can wear it next to your face, soft or whichever else. It's good enough for a decent sized project, or probably a very small baby blanket if you use a very open stitch, which means lots of holes, big holes. So the winner is Denise Hoffman from Motley, Minnesota. Congratulations. You could probably use the acrylic this time of year. I hope you like crochet or someone who does. So, there we go. To help me help you win more proficiently, as Denise has already done, there's a link below that just takes you to a form. So if you win, like Denise did, I can just get this shipped out as soon as possible. I don't have to wait. I don't have to try and hunt you down. You don't have to hunt me down. It's just going to go out. I don't email you anything. There's no outside contact. I don't sell the information. It is locked inside of Google. So unless someone breaks into Google or my cats mysteriously want to contact you, no, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just for my ease and your winning. So it should be like bit.ly yarn 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 or whatever. It's down below. All content and creativity and support is given by me. So there's no sponsors, no nothing. It's just whatever the heck I feel like. So, thank you for watching.